Aquarius. Hey, how's it going? And welcome all my beautiful tea leaves. This is your August 2022 reading for the sign of Aquarius. Even though this is an August reading, all my readings are timeless. So when this reading comes into your world, that is when it is meant for you. This is a general reading, so it may not resonate with every single Aquarius out there. If that is the case, please also check with your moon and rising sign as well as your Venus placement, as those readings may resonate with you just a little bit more better. Um, Also, if you are looking to schedule a personal reading with me, the information for that will be listed in the description box below. That is the only way to schedule a reading with me of any sorts or to do any type of scheduling with me personally. I will never reach out onto anybody on social medias on any platform. So YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, anything, Facebook, Twitter, I will never ever reach out to you on any of those and say, hey, you need a reading or you have a generational curse that needs lifting or yada, yada, yada. You see those, report them right away, block, delete, do all that fun stuff. Okay, because it is not Miss Tarot and Tea, it is not Jenny, and it is a scammer, and you don't want any part of that. Alrighty. So this is the main reading for the month of August, but we will be doing a follow-up bonus reading towards the middle of the month. And that one kind of is like a spot cleanse. It kind of helps you with filling in any blanks or if there was any transitions in the energies, which typically can happen because the tarot is all about energy. And because we have free will, those things will kind of transfer and transcend and do things when we start, getting into those situations and scenarios. We might have gone left instead of right, and therefore the reading changes a bit. Also, if you could be so kind as to give this a thumbs up, go ahead and share that to all your social medias, and I will greatly appreciate that and you. Alrighty, so Aquarius, let's go ahead and get your reading going. So, this month we are using a special tarot deck. This is the Maxwell's Rainbow Tarot. And this is a Kickstarter deck that came into my world about a month and a half ago or so. And it's an amazing deck, completely hand-drawn by 6-year-old Maxwell. And I will go ahead and leave the Kickstarter link in the description box below so that you can read all about Maxwell, his mom, and their amazing story and journey making this beautiful hand-drawn tarot deck. Okay, so I just wanted to throw that out there. So everybody's like, why is she, using a tarot deck that looks like it was drawn by a 6-year-old? Well, that's because it was. Alrighty, so how we're going to do this, Aquarius, is we're going to go ahead and lay out a spread. Just a general spread for the current energies, messages, things that we need to be aware of for this month. Sometimes those energies could be your current energies. It could be like you're going through this right now. And then we'll just get some advice moving forward from that. We will also go into a area for romance, love, whatever you want to call it. We'll do pull some cards for singles as well as those in a relationship. We will then use a completely different deck to get some advice moving forward from everything going on this month, what you need to be looking out for and what you should be, kind of gearing towards. Then we'll close off this reading with a oracle card to kind of seal the energies and go from there. And then that will head us into the mid-month reading. All right, Aquarius, so let's get started. Let's pull your general spread. Ooh, Ace of Wands. So something fast and new coming in. All right. Okay. 3 of Swords. I'm going to try to place these because it threw out a chunk. And for some reason, I am just like, I'm going to take them because it was the right amount of cards. So I'm just kind of trying to place them in the order of which they fell. Okay, Aquarius. So underlying energy, 8 of Swords. So we're kind of feeling a little bit like, like we need to be walking away from something that's really messing with our minds, okay? We've been a little bit imprisoned by this and it can consume us if we allow it. So I'm I'm sensing that as the overall, well, it's showing, and I'm sensing that is a very overall energy for this reading right here. You have that Ace of Wands in the upright right at the beginning. So usually the first card drawn is the strongest of the reading, and it's showing me a fast new endeavor. This Wands is fire, and it's all about movement and physicalities and stuff. And so this is like a new opportunity that you're going to be moving forward with. You have the Three of Swords right here, which is denoting, you know, something that's emotionally, mentally very, very painful. A lot of people see this as the breakup card or emotional, you know, turmoil, in the sense that it's three swords piercing a heart. So likely, you know, breakups or severance of something that has really, really messed with your heart. You have the Ace of Cups right here, which also is telling me that you probably are moving you know, you're probably moving beyond a relationship that failed. With that Three of Swords right there and the Ace of Cups right here, this is pretty much failed relationship energy, or not so much failed, I hate saying it like that, but you know, a relationship that just came to an end. Okay, it did not work the way you wanted to. If you want to call that failure, that's, you know, up to you. Some would say it as that a failed relationship or whatever, but just a relationship that ended. You know, sometimes we end things for better opportunities and circumstances. It doesn't always mean it's a failure then, now does it? So the Hanged Man right here is telling me that you need to kind of sit back and watch and observe. Don't make any rash movements, even though you do have the Ace of Wands right here. It's probably best to, if you do put a power play out there, to kind of sit back and watch things as they go. Not necessarily like, you know, be so hands in, but just be like, all right, I'll do this and watch what happens. You have the Queen of Swords in the reverse. So somebody is willing to speak, you know, rather bitchingly about things. You know, the Queen of Swords, when she's in her upright, she's got her, you know, she's very regal, she's very strong tongued, where she will tell you like it is. But when she is in the reverse, she, like, the filter's off and she's just like total bitch mode. And that's what I'm seeing right here. Right now, it might be the time to say, either you're going to be the one that says it like it is and, you know, let your feelings go out there without any hesitation or without any filter, or it's going to be coming into you. And you have the Hangman, you have the Hangman in the upright, and you have the Fool in reverse. So these are both being like, you know what, I know you want to, you know, run your mouth, let it all out, and there's a time and place for that. There definitely is in this. So if this is relationship based, where maybe somebody's cheating or moving on from you, you definitely want to go out there and tell everybody exactly what happened. You definitely want to show everybody your side and be like, no, this, I was wronged. You know, this person, you know, wasn't all that glitters is gold. You know, you want to put that out there, and I get that, but it's telling you, like, don't just be, you need to be clever. Time and place. Okay. This is very important. Very strategic time for you right now is to kind of just kick back and look and see and wait, because some people expose themselves all on their own, and I totally get that that's going to be the case right here. Even though this is really, really consuming your mind, and it's really like consuming your heart and consuming your emotions right now, Aquarius, it's probably the best time. This could have to do with family as well. If you have some family that, you know, something really bad happened, something really close to you, somebody you loved really near and dear, has walked away, you know, somebody could have passed away or anything like that, and you may want to, like, let other people know what you think of them right now. Because you ever had it where somebody passes away, and, you know, or somebody leaves a situation or whatever, a marriage, anything like that, friendship, and all of a sudden everybody remembers how great they were, or, you know, oh, this person, you know, yeah, he was a real good friend of mine, and blah blah blah, because they walked away. You know, that, you ever had that experience? It happens usually when people pass away, but I'm getting that kind of energy, and that could be happening, and you could be wanting to be like, you know what, just because they died doesn't mean you get to get all this sympathy and everything now. Like, you hated them in life, like you talked so much shit, like that's what I'm kind of seeing. But it's like, you know what, don't worry about it, don't worry, it's not worth it, it's not worth it. Ultimately, worry about you right now, Aquarius, and worry about your healing and what you need to do going forward. Don't worry about other people, that nasty residual energy that they may be presenting to you. That's them. Push it back, give it back to them. You don't need it. You don't need to be letting it control you and the way you live your life and the good spirit in your heart. Okay. Alrighty. What an interesting reading there, Aquarius. That was, you know, I mean, you probably weren't anticipating it, but, sometimes that comes out that way. All right, moving on to our love portion, romance portion. We're going to start off with singles. So all the Aquariuses that are not in a committed relationship with a partner or partners, you haven't changed the status on the social media. It still says single, or it's complicated, whatever terminology you want to use. But for those Aquariuses that aren't with the ring on the finger or locked down in some way in a long-term committed relationship, all right, this is for you. And those Aquariuses out there that are like, well, I'm with him, but there's always a but involved. If it's like I'm with them, but then, you might want to listen up here, because that probably means you're a little more single than you think. If you're not together completely and utterly, you're not together. I mean, come on, quit trying to call the color black any other color but black, right? So we have reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. So you may have somebody that once upon a time didn't work out, and now they're like, hey, let me holler at you. Let's see what else. Wedding. Oh my gosh. This could have been somebody that was a thing that you really, really wanted to happen, and it didn't. And now that you're single, you might be figuring out that this person, you had those strong feelings and that commitment at one time, and it might be working out. So, somebody from your past coming through. This situation involves marriage. It could also mean for a specific Aquarius that this person is already married. Okay. This person might be trying to get at you, but, they're still gotten some, they bring in a partnerific situation with it, or maybe they're coming out of a marriage and they're trying to date, but they're not fully divorced. That type of thing could be for a specific group of Aquariuses, but it could also mean that this person from your past that you gave up on, or just didn't continue the relationship with, might be coming in, and it might be getting pretty darn serious. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. So going with that saying of, you might have been reconciling with somebody that, at one point would have been like, I was supposed to be with him, but I went with, plan B, and, we're no longer together or whatever. And you're reconciling and rekindling that seriousness, and revisiting those strong, intense feelings. Codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. So codependency doesn't always have to be like stimulant based. It can literally mean that you're so dependent on something, someone, somehow, whatever the case may be, that you're not freeing yourself with the opportunity, time, and space to be able to even allow love to come in. Or maybe you're relying on somebody right now, or you're relying too much on others, and it's really affecting things for you. So we're not able to draw in this love, or perhaps this person is like, hey, I kind of like it when you're a little more independent and I don't have to kind of do everything, because there's an Aquarius out there that needs to hear that. Alrighty, so that's the singles portion of the reading. Next is all the Aquariuses that are in the committed relationship. So you got the ring on your finger, or you've already gone down the aisle, you're planning on taking that next step. Maybe you're planning on putting the ring on the finger, but either way, you've definitely changed the status on social media, and you've definitely been in, everybody knows you're together. There's no secrets, no hiding, no nothing. All right, so this part of the reading is for you. Alrighty, so for our in a relationship Aquariuses, if you could do anything, what would it be? The answer dwells in your heart, not in your mind, for the heart is the gateway to the soul. So you might be in a situation where you're like, what should I do? And, you need to go do some soul searching to figure out what that is. The answer is not going to come to you in a tarot reading, a magic 8-ball, or anything like that, because the answer is already in you. So the universe is like, no, I'm not going to give you that answer any other way. I want you to look into you and actually, learn your lesson and get your answer. Okay, so those two came out together. So the past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. So you can't go forward just staring constantly in your rearview mirror. If you do that, you're going to wreck into something, right? You're always going to find an obstacle because you're not facing forward. So that's what it's telling you. If it's in the past, it doesn't have to define you, but if you allow it, it can confine you. And not all prisons have bars, Aquarius. So the prison of our mind is very vast, but we can remain there trapped by regrets, indecisions, things like that, that don't really allow for you to ascend in any way. So keep that in mind for those of us that are, or those Aquariuses that are in a committed relationship. Beware of what you are projecting, for the qualities you admire in another are qualities you both possess. Equally so, the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. So don't be picking on your partner saying, well, this is stuff I can't stand that they do, say, act, be, when those are internal manifestations of who you are. So, or things you lack, or maybe it's your own resentments, regrets, and failed wishes or anything like that. But don't sit there and treat somebody else like they are the bearer of all that which is woe when you're in control of making your own life happy and being your own completion. That codependency stuff, it never worked for nobody. It just makes people more resentful and allows for people to remain stagnant. So keep that in mind. Healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed this very moment. So it sounds like there's an Aquarius out there that is progressing in the stage of healing past a trauma or a break in the relationship of some sort. So you're trying to do you're trying to do the step work, and you're probably in that phase of like, what do I do? This person's driving me crazy or anything like that. Right here, it's giving you the step works and giving you the resolution that you need to do that internalization and that soul searching that is going to help you to take root in a more, promising direction and a more beneficial route for both you and your loved one. And if you have children or extended people in your life that, dare I say, rely on this relationship in any way, shape, or form, or just enjoy this relationship along with you, this is something that's going to help them along the way as well. So, as we're going on our journey to healing, we have to take in mind, that healing is a beneficial thing because it puts positive vibrations out there for everybody that we are involved with. All right, so let's get some advice moving forward for Aquarius. We're going to get our Morgan Greer deck out, and we're going to get some advice for Aquarius moving forward. So I'm seeing the pattern here, Aquarius. A lot of it is like, stop looking in the past. Stop bringing the past forward. Quit making that the third member of your relationships and, this additional person or energy that really doesn't belong or need to be there. So I'm seeing that as the pattern in all the readings for the entire month for you, Aquarius. So let's get one more shuffle in for the advice for Aquarius moving forward, August 2022. All right. Advice moving forward for Aquarius. Advice moving forward for Aquarius. Okay. So right now it's not a good time. Like right here, I'm seeing this again. Is to stop worrying about your failures and things that didn't happen. You've got the King of Rods, so the King of Wands in the reverse. You got Judgment in reverse on the bottom. So I mean, right here, it's like I'm getting this total superfluous amount of, I failed or I'm not good enough, like this negative-y type energy of like, I can't make I can no longer be happy. I cannot make happiness. I don't look good. I don't feel good. Things are just not going my way, and I'm just never going to be happy. And you feel like, you might have been forsaken and forgotten about in the universe, which is just not true. These are superficial feelings. These are things that you've manifested in your thought process that you're now acting out on that. And if that is the case, Aquarius, stop right away. All you have to do is stop one behavioral process to really just throw a wrench in the whole plan. And from there, you can reform things. So right now, as much as stuff is not feeling like it's going your way, like you have no control over anything and you're just completely out of sorts, the Ten of Cups is still on the board. You still have a chance at your ultimate happiness, your ultimate goal. It's still there. The universe has not forsaken you. It has not forgotten about you. It's just waiting for you to wise up and change things, okay? When we start feeling good about ourselves, when we start, doing the things that we need to do to control our energies and stuff like that, and what we produce out there, guess what? The Ten of Cups flips back around. All right? So that is the advice moving forward for the month. And let's go ahead and close this off with an oracle card from our Gentle Creatures Wisdom deck and see what energy it presents to us, what advice it might be giving, what directions it might want you to consider, things like that for Aquarius August 2022. Let's get a couple more shuffles in for Aquarius. Let's close this off with some wisdom from the universe. Alrighty. And in the description box below will be a list of all the decks that I've used and where to find them. There is one deck that is out of print. That is the Romance Angels deck that was used for our single portion of the reading. That is out of print, has been out of print for quite some time. But you can find secondhand decks, used decks of that particular deck on things like Mercari and eBay and so on and so forth. Now they are going to be pricey because out of print decks usually skyrocket in value and people try to capitalize on that all the time. So if you really want that deck, you can find it, but it might cost you a pretty penny. So quit and listen. So stop feeling bad for yourself. Stop letting everything control you, your mind, your actions, everything. Quit letting it put you into that box. Just listen. Listen to the universe. Listen to friends. Listen to family. Listen to when people say they love you, they care, they're there. Things like that. Listen to the advice. Listen to the signs and synchronicities that the universe is showing you to help you promote that ability in you to actually ascend yourself and to pull yourself out of these situations that are confining your mind, that are causing you to have a backslide in your emotions and your feelings and things like that. Yes, you have lived past your traumas, and yes, they are very much a part of you, but they do not have to control you. There is a greater lesson, a greater voice that is speaking to you right now, Aquarius, and if you'll open your mind, heart, and ears, you definitely will hear it, because as intuitive as you are, Aquarius, you sometimes can, it's like you're an air sign, so things can kind of pass by you if you don't open up to it. And that's what it's telling you right now is a big time for you to listen and pay attention. It was a wonderful time reading for you today, Aquarius, and I thank you so, so very much for allowing me the pleasure to do so. Once again, if you would like to schedule a personal reading for me, all the information is in the description box below, as well as a list of all the decks and a bunch of amazing content creators I ask you to check out, just to kind of, get an influx of really cool content. Some great creators that are a pleasure to be around and watch their content. I do suggest Channy's Unexplainable Adventures. She has amazing stuff. She's a vibrant British rose that, just keeps us smiling and takes us to amazing places and really, like, I can't say enough. Please go check her out. Also, every Sunday night is the live All Signs reading at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. It is a live chat. I'd love to have you there. I invite you to meet the moderators of the channel, have some good conversation and things like that. The chats can get rather wild and fun and crazy sometimes, but the messages will always come through clear, concise, and to the point, and we have a lot of fun doing it. Alrighty, Aquarius, thank you so very much, and I hope to see you sometime between now and forever. Take care.